wabarakatuh. I now call the session to order. SecGen, uh, for the invocation, may we call on uh, MP Butch Malang to lead the prayer, and please remain standing for the national anthem and the Bangsamoro hymn.
آمين الله يا رب العالمين. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. اللهم إنك عفو تحب العفو فاعف عنا. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار والحمد لله.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Kayang mag-ibig, kay mas nagsinakanan, alam ng puso, sa titik mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, kuya ka ng magiting, sa manlulupin, di ka pasisigil, sa nagagang tutok sa simoy at sa langit kong bangaw, ay hinagang tula, kawin sa pagkayang minamahal, ang isang ng matawad mo'y tagumpay na nag-iindig, ang bituin at araw niya kailan pang ay di magdidinig. Lumang ang araw ng walhagit pagsinta, buhay langit sa piling mo. Ang hindi kaya ng pagkay mga amin, ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo. Simula noon hanggang ngayon, isa ang naging layon. Magkaisa at magpuklod, karitingan ay marugtong. Tumayo tayo mula sa hamon ng nakaraan, niyapos ang panganib na umanlang. Pinangako sa puso at paniniwala, ang ginhawa para sa kabataan. Bangsamoro ay tagumpay, bunga ng pawis, sugo at buhay. Kapayapaan, katarungan, ay atin ng nakamtan. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, pagpalain Bangsamoro. Bangsamoro, Bangsamoro, lagi kang mamahalin. Walang pipigil sa damdamin, mga pangako'y tutuparin. Habang buhay kami sa'yo'y magbabantay, mananatili sa puso't isipan. Ang kahapon ngunit ay nga nagbuwis ng buhay, nasa piling na ng may kapal. Bangsamoro ay tagumpay, bunga ng pawis, sugo at buhay. Kapayapaan, katarungan, ay atin ang nakamtan. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, pagpalain Bangsamoro.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Please take your seat. Secretary General, please do the roll call.
Assalamualaikum. Roll call. Honorable members of BTA Parliament. Abbas Ahmad, Abbas Harun, Abbas Basit, Abu Mujib, Adyong Rasdi, Alamia Laisa, Alauden Mosber, Ali Lanang Jr., Ambuluto Suharto, Ampatuan Baintan, Anayatin Susana, Antaw Muhammad Kelly, Antok Tumanda, Asarul Haber, Asnawi Dan, Balindong Ahmad Amir, Bayam Zulfikar Ali, Benito Abdul Basit, Kandaw Ma'ruf, Kutan Otto Salim, Diranggalan Hashimi, Dumama Alba Shia Ilaiha, Ibil Muhammad Najir, Ismail Suharto, Estino Matarul, Gayak Amiruddin, Gera Edward, Haji Abdullah Khalid, Hasim Abdullah, Hasan Hatimil, Hataman Abrar, Ibay Ibrahim, Iqbal Muhagger, Ismail Rasul, Chajuri Raisa, Chikiri Saripuddin, Kadatuan Kitam Jr., Karon Bayali, Karon Faisal, Lim John Anthony, Loong Benjamin, Loong Don Mustafa, Lorena Jose, Makakuha Abdurrauf, Makapaar Abdullah, Malang Boots, Mantawil Baileng, Mastura Eshak, Matalam Japar Apollo Mikael, Mendoza Proilin, Mitimbang Michael, Mitimbang Tawakal, Miswari Abdul Karim, Miswari Nur Reda, Mitmog Rasol Jr., Mundir Ali Rakim, Munyos Hussein, Oranon Suwaib, Pakasam Obaida, Pagayaw Alindato, Pak Abdul Wahab, Barcasio Randolph, Piang Ramon Sr., Rakim Amir Jakaria, Salendab Said, Salik Ali, Sema Omar Yasser, Sema Romeo, Sheikh Said, Sinarimbo Nagib, Sinulinding Kadil Jr., Sulaiman Ali, Sumagayan Aminuddin, Tan Nabil, Usman Adspar, Uy Oyod Siti Fahani, and Yakub Muhammad.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah wa bihi nasta'in. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Madam Speaker, with 41 members of the Parliament responded to the call. We therefore certify the presence of quorum. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Sec Gen. Considering that there is a quorum, I now declare the BTA Parliament fourth regular session, session number 123, open.
Allahu Akbar.
Session suspended.
Allah
Floor leader, what is the status of the session today?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First of all, Madam Speaker, I would like to move for that the journal number 32 of December 15 to 17 be held in abeyance.
Okay. There's a motion from the floor leader, MP Attorney Bong Parcasio, Randolph Bong Parcasio, that the reading and approval of the journal of the previous session, number 32, from December 15 to 17, 2025, be dispensed with. Do I hear a second? Are there any objections? There being none, the motion is approved.
Madam Speaker, we have members of the Parliament who will render their messages, their commendations, and recognition. And for that matter, may I ask that MP Alin Dato Pagayaw be recognized.
The Honorable MP Alindato K. Pagayaw is recognized.
The Honorable Speaker, Dr. Muhammad Yaqub, Deputy Speakers, Presiding Officer, Attorney Laisa Lamiaman, Pro Leaders, Deputy Pro Leaders, esteemed colleagues, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. I rise today to commend the National Commission on Muslim Filipinos, NCMF, under the able leadership of Secretary Sheikh Sahabuddin Abdurrahim for its outstanding strategic and successful facilitation of Hajj 2026 for Filipino Muslim pilgrims. This year's Hajj pilgrimage showcased the significant improvements in the quality and delivery of services provided to the Filipino pilgrims, from organized accommodations in Mina, Arafah, and Musdalifah, to the timely provision of meals, unlimited coffee, bottled water, bread, oranges, and readily available refreshment. The excellent ensure the comfort and health of our Hujjaj throughout their spiritual journey. Coupled with strengthened assistance, efficient coordination, responsive support services, and the dedication of each personnel on the ground. These efforts reflected the Commission's unwavering concern, providing a safe, dignified, and meaningful pilgrimage experience for every Filipino Muslim pilgrims. Mr. Speaker, these improvements are not administrative accomplishment. They demonstrated the NCM's commitment to serving our Muslim brothers and sisters as they undertake Hajj, one of the 5 pillars of Islam. Effective planning, sound coordination, and dedicated service, the Commission ensure that Filipinos were able to fulfill this important religious obligation with greater confidence and confidence. The success of Hajj 2026 stands as a testament to the strengthened institutional capacity of the Commission and the capable leadership of Secretary Abdurrahim. It is a reminder that when public institutions are guided by excellence, accountability, and genuine concern for the people they serve, meaningful and lasting results can be achieved. It is therefore fitting to recognize and commend Secretary Sheikh Sabuddin Abdurrahim and the entire Commission on Muslim Philippines for their exemplary leadership, dedication, and invaluable contribution to the success of the Hajj 2026. Their efforts have enabled thousands of Muslims to fulfill one of the five pillars of Islam with dignity, convenience, and peace of mind. Mr. Speaker, may this achievement inspire continued excellence in public service and encourage even greater improvements in the years ahead as we collectively strive to advance the welfare and lives of Muslim communities throughout the country. Before I conclude, I would like to express my sincere appreciation to Honorable Speaker Dr. Muhammad Yaqub and my leader Attorney General Anthony for this privilege and for allowing this august body to recognize the exemplary performance of the National Commission on Muslim Filipinos and its leadership in ensuring the success of Hajj 2026. Maraming salamat. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh.
Thank you, MP Pagayaw. Floor leader.
Yes, Madam Speaker, I'd like to move that Deputy Speaker Shah Elijah Dumama Alba be recognized.
The Honorable MP Shah Elijah B. Dumama Alba is recognized.
Thank you very much. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. To our Honorable Chief Minister Abdul Rauf Makakua, to the Speaker, Honorable Dr. Muhammad Yaqub, the Presiding Officer, Deputy Speaker Attorney Liza Alamia, the Floor Leader, Attorney Bong Percasio, colleagues and friends in the gallery, magandang hapon po sa ating lahat. I rise today with the immense pride, profound gratitude, and a heart full of joy to bring to the attention of this parliament a historic feat achieved by one of our young martial artists here in the Bangsamoro region, Mr. Abdul Kudos D. Muhammad. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. Last month, thousands of miles away in the city of Astana, Kazakhstan, the Philippine flag was raised and the spirit of the Bangsamoro shone brightly on the global stage. I am honored to announce that Mr. Abdul Kudos D. Muhammad captured the silver medal at the second Kyokushinryu Ryu World Tournament. The tournament was organized by the International Karate Alliance, Kyokushin Ryu, and the Kazakh National Alliance, and the competitors were grouped by age and weight class, with winners determined using a single elimination or Olympic system. Madam Speaker, martial arts is not merely a test of physical strength. It is a test of character, discipline, and endurance. To stand on a world stage, to face the absolute best elite fighters from every corner of the globe, and to emerge as the second best in the world is no ordinary feat. It requires years of sacrifice, grueling training, and an unwavering iron will. Behind this silver medal are countless hours of sweat in the Cotabato dojo. Behind this victory is a young man who carried not just his own dreams, but the hopes, prayers, and dignity of his community into the ring. Abdul Kudos did not just represent the Philippines. He embodied the resilient, unyielding spirit of one and our very own Bangsamoro people. He proved to the world that greatness can come from our communities and that with dedication, the youth of the Bangsamoro can stand equal to anyone in the world. To Abdul Kudos, to the Cotabato Dojo family, and to the entire Philippine team, you have brought us immense honor. You have given our youth an anchor of inspiration, showing them that no stage is too big and no dream is too distant. Madam Speaker, it is only fitting that this Parliament recognizes and commends this extraordinary achievement. Let this achievement be a reminder of why we must continue to invest in, support, and nurture our Bangsamoro athletes who raise our identity to global heights. Thank you, Abdul Kudos. The entire Bangsamoro walks a little taller today because of you. Also, ato ka, Bangsamoro. Thank you, Madam Speaker. And yes, one more, Madam Speaker, in line of the athletes and the sports community. From setbacks to glory, Al Gamidi J. Hamja makes history for Basilan and Barm. Before he stood on the top of the podium as a gold medalist, Al Gamidi J. Hamja was an athlete who knew the feeling of fighting hard without getting the result he dreamed of. For years, Al Gamidi competed in wushu, carrying the determination of an athlete who wanted to win but struggled to find the breakthrough. Despite his dedication and countless training sessions, opportunities to claim victory remained elusive. Yet instead of giving up, he searched for another path where his skills and passion could grow. That path led him to Pencak Silat. When the Bangsamoro Sports Commission, BSC, opened a Pencak Silat clinic, Al Gamidi became one of its participants. The experience sparked a new passion in him and convinced him to pursue the sport seriously. His commitment was tested from the very beginning. Coming from a place far from the training venue, he sacrificed time and effort and comfort, traveling 2 to 3 hours away one way every day just to attend the clinic and improve his craft. For Hamja, distance was never a reason to stop. His journey in Pencak Silat was not without challenges. During the 2025 BARM qualifiers, he earned his place in the competition but was unfortunately disqualified after accidentally landing a kick to his opponent's face. It was a painful setback, but it became another lesson that shaped him into a more disciplined and strategic fighter. As preparations began for BARM's participation in the 2026 Palarong Pambansa, Al Gamidi and his teammates underwent intensive in-house training. Even during the holy month of Ramadan, they continued their rigorous sessions at night, pushing their limits while balancing faith, discipline, and athletic preparation. The experience changed Al Gamidi's approach. He became more cautious, more calculated, and more focused on every movement. He knew that in Pencak Silat, one mistake could make and change everything. That mindset carried him through the championship. At the 2026 Palarong Pambansa in Agusan del Sur, Al Gamidi competed in the Pencak Silat Tanding Class E Division and defeated more than 10 opponents without a single loss. However, his road to the gold medal was far from easy. Every match demanded strength, endurance, and courage. He endured powerful kicks and punches to his body before finally reaching the championship round. What pushed him forward was bigger than personal victory. Al Gamidi carried the pride of the entire Bangsamoro region. He wanted BARM to come home with a gold medal, and that goal became his motivation to keep fighting. During his championship match, the odds seemed to be against him. The crowd overwhelmingly cheered for his opponent, while only a small group stood behind him, his 6 teammates, a nurse, and 2 coaches. But despite the quiet support around him, Hamja remained focused. In the end, his hard work, discipline, and determination prevailed. Al Gamidi J. Hamja became the first athlete from Basilan to win a gold medal in the history of the Palarong Pambansa, creating a legacy that will inspire future athletes from his province and the entire BARM. His story is more than a story of a championship victory. It is a reminder that success is often built through years of struggle, sacrifices, and moments when quitting seems easier than continuing. From a wushu athlete searching for a breakthrough to a penchaksilit champion who made history, Al Gamidi proved that every setback can become a stepping stone towards greatness. Congratulations, Al Gamidi. We are proud of you. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you very much, MP Laiha Dumama, and congratulations to Al Qudus and Al Gamidi. Let's give them a round of applause, even if they're not here. The floor leader.
Yes, Madam Speaker, I move to have MP Abdul Basit Benito be recognized.
The Honorable MP Abdul Basit Benito is recognized.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وبه نستعين. My courtesy and respect to our Chief Minister Abdul Rauf Makakuha, to our Speaker Honorable Muhammad Yaqub, Presiding Officer Madam Attorney Laisa Alamia, to the Pro Leader, Deputy Pro Leaders, my colleagues in the Bangsamoro Parliament, to our viewers on the social media live of these sessions. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and good afternoon. Madam Speaker, I rise today to express my deepest concern and solidarity with the families and communities affected by the recent earthquake that struck Sarangani and other areas of Mindanao, including several communities within the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region. Last Friday, Madam Speaker, and Saturday, I personally conducted an ocular visit to some of the affected communities to assess the situation on the ground. During the visit, I witnessed firsthand the hardship, fear, displacement, and destruction experienced by many of our fellow Mindanaoans. While we are in the affected areas, aftershocks were also felt, reminding us of the continuing risk faced by affected residents. More than a week now after the main earthquake, a series of aftershocks continue to be recorded and felt in various areas, causing persistent anxiety among affected families and hindering recovery efforts. Many residents remain hesitant to return to their homes, while others continue to live in temporary shelters due to concerns over structural damage and their safety. The continuing series of aftershocks also serve as a timely reminder for all BARM agencies concerned, particularly those responsible for disaster risk reduction and management, emergency response, public safety, health and services, and humanitarian assistance, to remain vigilant and fully prepared for any eventualities. While response efforts are underway, we must likewise strengthen our readiness measures, ensure the availability of emergency resources and personnel, update contingency plans, and enhance coordination among agencies and local government units. Preparedness, Madam Speaker, is not only a response to the current situation, but an essential investment in protecting lives and communities from future disaster. Beyond Sarangani, reports likewise indicate that many families in different parts of BARM have been affected by the earthquake, with homes, schools, masjid, and other structures sustaining varying degrees of damage. These continuing aftershocks further highlight the urgent need for sustained humanitarian assistance comprehensive damage assessment, and strengthened disaster preparedness measure. The situation clearly demonstrates the need for immediate assistance, effective coordination, and sustained government response to ensure that no affected family is left behind. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, and Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good afternoon.
Thank you very much, MP Abdul Basit Benito. Floor leader.
Speaker, I move that the Honorable MP Abrar Hataman be recognized.
The Honorable MP Abrar Hataman is recognized.
Honorable Interim Chief Minister, Adorab Makakua, Honorable Speaker, Muhammad S. Yaacob, Presiding Speaker, Attorney Liza S. Salamia, Deputy Speakers, Floor Leader, Deputy Floor Leaders, Honorable Members of the Parliament, colleagues, and for those of you who are present, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Mr. Speaker, a commendation has already been delivered for Al-Gamidi Hamja, and rightly so. Yet some achievements deserve more than recognition. More than that, they deserve reflection. Allow me, Mr. Speaker, to share some few thoughts on what this historic victory means for the Bangsamoro. Mr. Speaker, there are victories that belong to an athlete, and there are victories that belong to a people. Today, we celebrate the latter. Somewhere in Agusan del Sur, a young man from Sumisip, Basilan, stood on top of a podium and received a gold medal. Para sa karamihan ng tao, dito nagtatapos ang kwento. Ngunit para sa Bangsamoro, dito pa lamang nagsisimula ang tunay na kwento. Because gold medal is a strange thing. It weighs only few hundred grams. Yet sometimes, it carries the weight of an entire people's aspirations. For decades, the Bangsamoro has fought to be recognized not for its conflicts, but for its potential, not for its hardships, but for its achievements, not for the headlines written about us, but for the future we are capable of building. And then, a young athlete from Sumisip Basilan stepped on to the mat. When Algamidi J. Hamja won the gold medal in Penchak Silat Tanding, Class E category, secondary boys, at the 66th Palarong Pambansa, he accomplished something no Bangsamoro athlete had accomplished before. He became the first gold medalist at the national game. History will record his name, but what history may not record is that before the gold medal, there was simply a young boy from Tumahubong Sumisip who wanted the opportunity to compete. A son of a farmer and a municipal employee, a student who trained far from facilities and resources that many athletes take for granted, a young Bangsamoro who during the holy month of Ramadan trained at night because his days were devoted to fasting. And perhaps the most remarkable thing about Algamidi's story is this. Hindi siya patungo sa palarong pambansa na may inahasahang maging kampyon. Ayon sa kanya mismo, ang makarating pa lamang sa pambansang kompetisyon ay isa ng tagumpay. Imagine that. While others were dreaming of gold, he was simply grateful for the chance to stand among nation's best. And perhaps that is precisely why he became a champion. Because greatness often arrives not for those who are obsessed with glory, but those who are devoted to work. Those who keep showing up, those who keep training, those who keep believing that effort itself is already worth something. And perhaps that is why this achievement resonates so deeply with the Bangsamoro. Our story, too, has always been a story of refusing to quit. When others saw limitations, we saw possibilities. When others saw obstacles, we continued moving forward. And when others doubted what the Bangsamoro could have become, we continued believing. And that is why this medal feels familiar. Because before it became gold, it was perseverance. Before it became history, it was sacrifice. And before it became victory, it was sabar. And before it became a moment of pride for the Bangsamoro, it was tawakkul. By a young man who continued training even when nobody knew his name. Mr. Speaker, Ang sandaling ito ay hindi lamang nakapagluwal ng Bangsamoro ng isang kampyon. Ang aral ay marami pang kampyon ang naghihintay na matuklasan. Sa mismong sandaling ito, at this moment, Mr. Speaker, sa Basilan, Tawi-Tawi, Lanao del Sur, Maguindanao at Special Geographic Area, may mga kabataang lalaki at babae po na may parehong paghahangad, parehong disiplina, at parehong pangarap. The question is whether are we willing to invest in them? Because talent alone does not produce champions. Champions requires coaches. Champions require facilities. Champions require opportunities. Champions require a government that believes in them before the medals arrive. It is easy to celebrate athletes after they win. The real test is whether we support them before they do. If we truly honor Algamidi today, then let us honor him not only with words. Let us honor him by ensuring that his story will never be again described as the first. Let us build a Bangsamoro where his gold medal becomes one of many, where young people know that excellence is not something they must seek elsewhere, where every talented Bangsamoro children is given the opportunity to discover how far they can go. Because the significance of gold of this medal is that the Bangsamoro athlete stood above everyone else. Its significance is that a Bangsamoro child showed an entire generation what is possible. And perhaps years from now, when another athlete stands at the top of a podium wearing the colors of the Bangsamoro, that young champion will say, I started believing when I saw a boy from Sumisip win gold. That is how history is made, not when medals are awarded, but when dreams are contagious. Congratulations, Algamidi J. Hamza. Your gold medal belongs to you, but the hope it's awakened belongs to the Bangsamoro people. Allahumma barik, alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. Maraming salamat po. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Maraming salamat po.
Waalaikumsalam.
Thank you very much, MP Abrar Hataman from Basilan. Floor Leader.
I move, Madam Speaker, that the Honorable Deputy Speaker Isaac Mastura be recognized.
The Honorable Deputy Speaker Ishak Mastura is recognized.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. This afternoon, I was moved to make a commendation to a person that I don't know from Adam, meaning this is the first time that I have read about him, known about him, but namangha po ako sa kanyang achievement kasi kakaiba po ang naging achievement niya at gusto kong parangalan si Salabi Ayub Yahya from the College of Noble Hadith and Islamic Studies from the Islamic University of Medina for graduating as summa cum laude. So for me, it is the first time na may narinig akong Bangsamoro Muslim from our region na nakagraduate ng summa cum laude sa isang Islamic University. So babasahin ko lang po ang parangal ng isang article about him para po maintindihan natin kung ano po yung kanyang naging achievement sa pag-graduate niya bilang summa cum laude. Isang karangalan hindi lamang para sa kanyang pamilya kundi para sa buong Bangsamoro ang natamong tagumpay ni Salabi Ayub Yahya matapos niyang makapagtapos bilang summa cum laude sa College of Noble Hadith and Islamic Studies ng Islamic University of Medina sa Kariyan ng Saudi Arabia. Batay sa sertipikasyong inilabas ng Islamic University of Medina noong Hunyo 12, 2026, matagumpay na natapos ni Yahya ang kanyang bachelor's degree sa larangan ng Noble Hadith and Islamic Studies at nagtamo ng pinakamataas na karangalang akademiko sa kanyang programa. Ang kanyang tagumpay ay muling nagpapatunay sa kakayahan ng mga Bangsamoro na makipagsabayan at magtagumpay sa pandaigdigang antas ng edukasyon, lalo na sa larangan ng Islamic Studies. Sa loob ng maraming taon, ang Islamic University of Medina ay kinikilala bilang isa sa mga pinakakilalang institusyon sa mundo para sa pag-aaral ng Islam, kung saan libu-libong mag-aaral mula sa iba't ibang bansa ang nangangarap na makapasok at makapagtapos Para sa maraming Bangsamoro, ang pagkamit ni Nahiya ng karangalang summa cum laude ay hindi lamang personal na tagumpay, kundi tagumpay rin ng buong sambayanan. Isa itong malinaw na patunay na ang Bangsamoro ay may kakayahang magbigay ng mahalagang ambag sa larangan ng edukasyon, kalaman at pamumunong nakabatay sa Islam saan mang panig ng mundo. Sa gitna ng mga hamon na kinakaharap ng rehiyon, nagsisilbi rin itong inspirasyon sa mga kabataang Bangsamoro na patuloy na magsikap sa kanilang pag-aaral at gamitin ang kanilang kaalaman para sa kapakinabangan ng kanilang komunidad at ng umma. Ang tagumpay ni Salabi Ayub Yahya ay isa lamang sa maraming halimbawa ng mga Bangsamorong patuloy na nagbibigay ng karangalan sa rehiyon sa pamamagitan ng kahusayan sa akademya at paglinang ng kaalamang Islamiko sa mga pandaigdigang institusyon. Habang ipinagdiriwang ng kanyang pamilya at mga kaibigan ang mahalagang tagumpay na ito, ipinagmamalaki rin ng Bangsamoro ang isang pang-anak ng rehiyon na nagpakita ng husay, dedikasyon at pagsisikap sa paghahanap ng kaalaman. Isang adhikayang mataas ang pagpapahalaga sa Islam at nagsisilbing puhunan para sa mas maliwanag na kinabukasan ng sambayanan. Again, our congratulations to Ustad Salabi Yahya, summa cum laude sa Islamic University of Madinah. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Deputy Speaker Ishak Mastura.
Madam Speaker, I move that the Honorable MP Omar Sema be recognized.
The Honorable MP Attorney Omar Yasser Sema is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Thank you, Floor Leader, colleagues, the Speaker, Muhammad Yaqub, the Chief Minister, Abdul Rauf Makakwa, guests, and those who may hear this privileged speech of mine. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. I rise today on a matter of collective privilege, driven by an urgent sense of legal, historical, and moral duty. I rise to break the silence on a gathering storm that threatens our brothers and sisters across the borderlands, a plight that strikes at the very marrow of our identity as a Bangsamoro autonomous region. In recent weeks, an atmosphere of deep anxiety has blanketed the communities of our kinsmen in Sabah and Kota Kinabalu. Reports, verified data, and panic-fueled accounts have reached our offices regarding an unintensified sweeping immigration enforcement campaign executed by the Malaysian federal government. While diplomatic channels may attempt to temper the rhetoric by characterizing these actions as standard statewide crackdowns against undocumented aliens, let us not mince words for our people across the Sulu Sea. This is an existential crisis. The threat of detention, the loss of livelihood, and the dignity of unceremonious deportation hang over hundreds of thousands of souls, a significant majority of whom are consanguineously and historically and spiritually part of the Bangsamoro communities. Mr. Speaker, Madam Speaker, we cannot shroud ourselves in conflict, in the comfort of jurisdictional insulation. We cannot hide behind the convenience of foreign policy being an exclusive prerogative of the national government in Manila. The organic reality of the Bangsamoro, enshrined under Republic Act number 11054, otherwise known as the Bangsamoro Organic Law, demands that this parliament serve as the vanguard for the welfare, dignity, and fundamental human rights of our people, wherever they may be cast by the winds of history and conflict. Let us look squarely at the cold, hard empirical data before us. The Malaysian Immigration Department's own enforcement metrics illustrate a staggering scale of displacement. In this current calendar period, over 19,700 foreign nationals have been apprehended, forcibly repatriated across Malaysia. While various ASEAN nationalities are affected, the data reveals a heavy, continuous execution of deportation funneling straight into our regional borders. Madam Speaker, from 19,700 repatriated, 1,825 are our fellow Filipino and Bangsamoro people. Let us contextually deconstruct these 1,825 Filipino deportees. These are not merely abstract figures to be filled away in bureau channels. Just days ago, or just weeks ago, Madam Speaker, commercial vessel docked at the local port of Zamboanga from Sandakan, Sabah, bearing a single heartbreaking cargo of 844 returning Filipinos. Of this batch, 518 were men, 210 were women, and most tragically, 116 were innocent minors. They arrived with nothing but the clothes on their backs, processed like contraband at the processing center for displaced persons in Barangay Talon-Talon, where we trace their ancestral lineages. Where do they go? They belong to Sulu. They belong to Tawi-Tawi. They belong to Basilan, and they are our constituents. They are our blood. We face a structural legal anomaly where human beings born of these lands are stripped of identity. These mass deportations trigger profound violations of domestic and international law. We must look at this through the lens of international human rights conventions, to which both the Philippines and Malaysia are state parties. The arbitrary detention of children and the separation of families during these immigration sweeps fly in the face of the United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Children. Furthermore, the lack of robust, individualized legal recourse before deportation violates the core principles of customary international law and human dignity. As a lawyer, I look at the legal framework that binds this parliament. Section 1, Article 13 of the Bangsamoro Organic Law explicitly mandates that the Bangsamoro government shall promote human rights, protect the welfare of its people. Are we to interpret this mandate as a localized obligation that expires 12 nautical miles from our coastlines? Absolutely not. True leadership is revolutionary, Madam Speaker. It breaks through statutory timidity when the survival of its people is at stake. When our people are pushed into the shadows of Kota Kinabalu, living in constant terror of the next dawn raid, it is a direct indictment of our failure to establish a mechanism of protection that bridges our historical realities with our modern governments, with our modern governance. For centuries before the lines of modern nation states were drawn by colonial cartographers, the Sulu Sea was not a barrier, but a highway. The economic, familial, and cultural frameworks between the Sulu archipelago and Sabah are ancient and indissoluble. To criminalize this movement without accounting for the historical context of conflict that drove our people across those waters during the dark years of the Mindanao secessionist wars is a historical injustice that this parliament must actively contest. My esteemed colleagues, Madam Speaker, we must acknowledge that the anxieties of our people are magnified by rumors of an all-encompassing policy targeting even documented Filipino workers. While the official line states that legal workers with valid passports and active work permits are secured, the ground reality of intense, highly localized enforcement creates an environment of xenophobic profiling. Documented workers are put in the crossfire of suspicion, subjected to arbitrary stops, and burdened with an unceasing systematic intimidation that degrades their standing as productive contributors to the Sabah economy. Therefore, Madam Speaker, we cannot content ourselves with passing toothless boilerplate resolutions of deep concern. We must match this crisis with assertive institutional action. We must deploy the legislative and political leverage of the BARM to compel the national government to fulfill its obligation while simultaneously executing immediate regional interventions. First, Parliament must formally demand that the Department of Foreign Affairs establish a permanent, dedicated consular extension office of it or a special humanitarian legal mission directly in Kota Kinabalu and in Sabah. The current consular outreach is vastly insufficient for the scale of our population there. Our people need immediate access to passport processing, birth registration for stateless children, and competent legal representation in Malaysian courts to contest unlawful detentions before deportation occurs. Second, we must direct our Ministry of Social Services and Development alongside the Ministry of Interior Local Government to radically overhaul our regional reception frameworks. The processing facility in Talon-Talon, Zamboanga City cannot remain a passive transit point. We must transform our response into an integrated, adequately funded program for socioeconomic reintegration. When an individual is deported, they must be met not just with an hot meal and a transport voucher, but with immediate psychotherapeutic support, legal rehabilitation, civil registration, livelihood capital through visible and practical programs initiative. Third, we must invoke the mechanisms of the intergovernmental relations body. We must demand a seat at the table in bilateral talks between the Republic of the Philippines and the federal government of Malaysia. The bond possesses a unique, historically grounded diplomatic capital. We must leverage our relationship with our Malaysian neighbors, who have historically been facilitators of our peace process, to forge a specialized, humane framework. We must advocate for a regularized labor program, an amnesty pathway for long-term undocumented residents who have built their lives and families in Sabah, and a definitive end to the detention of minors. Madam Speaker, the struggle by Bangsamoro self-determination was never merely about securing ministries and budgets in Cotabato. It was about reclaiming the dignity of the Moro people. It was about ensuring that no individual bearing our blood, practicing our faith, claiming our heritage, and should ever have to live as an outcast, hunted and stateless in their own ancestral maritime neighborhood. If we remain silent while hundreds of minors are processed through detention centers, and shipped back to our shores traumatized and dispossessed, then we are complicit, Madam Speaker, in their disenfranchisement. Let this Parliament be true to its mandate and rise to the fullness of its revolutionary legacy. Let us send a clear and moving message to Manila, Kuala Lumpur, and to the world that the Bangsamoro government will protect its own. We will protect our legal workers. We will defend our undocumented brothers, and we will build a region strong enough to bring our people, their family, and children home with honor, dignity, and peace. Thank you, Madam Speaker. Thank you, Floor Leader, for this privilege. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh.
Thank you very much. The Honorable MP Attorney Omar Yasser Sema. I would like to manifest and put into the record that I joined the good MP from Cotabato in the manifestations that he made during his privileged speech. May we ask MP Sema if you would like to have your speech referred to the Committee on Social Welfare, Committee on Justice,
Labor.
and Committee on Labor. Please do the correct motion, the right
Madam Chair.
motion, at the appropriate time.
Madam Chair.
Madam Chair,
Lord Leader?
I have first to ask that Deputy Speaker Jose Lorena be recognized.
The Honorable Deputy Speaker J. Lorena is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Thank you, Floor Leader. And before anything else, my courtesy to everyone. And I intend to join the manifestation of Omar Sema in all general terms, except that there is one that I would like to input into. With the mention of establishment of a consular office in Kuta, Kinabalu would rather render or negate
the present position of the government of the Republic of the Philippines and many of the Bangsamoro people coming from the south, that the establishment of a consular office tantamounts to negating our claim to that particular place. And therefore, any trigger to establish a consular office should be avoided. But in all its general terms, I would also agree that it should be endorsed to all committees, especially labor, the Committee on Social Services, and that we should act. The truth of the matter is, even before this manifestation rendered by my good brother, MP Omar Sema, we have already filed a resolution in the Committee on Social Services, the resolution on halal, because we expected this. And it was approved in the Committee on Social Services. In fact, a team was supposed to be constituted to visit the so not Borneo in particular, but Kota Kinabalu in particular, not Borneo in general. Secondly, we would also add that in the past, in order to avert this violent deportation process, including the deportation of your children, the national government has established a welfare attaché in the Malaysia, the Foreign Office of the Republic of the Philippines in Malaysia. That has not been revived after Parisio Taraji, Under Secretary of TSWD, was designated as welfare attaché and subsequently retired from the TSWD. But on all things, we join Omar Shema and his manifestation and like to be associated with that resolution and would request this honorable body that we should fast track the constitution of a team to look into the situation of our halal in Sabah. 2 weeks ago, I was in Sabah. I met four former chief minister, and perhaps the brewing tension in Sabah between the Kiluar, these are the proponents of the exit from Malaysia, has drawn many of our people to that. Because I think I am just surmising, because of the last election and the fact that there will be an election in Sandakan very soon, I think the Malaysian government has taken an initiative to render more deportation to avoid strengthening of the position that has been generated by the last election. With that, however, Madam Chair, I would just like to caution the body that if there is a resolution that would come in support of that from the different committees, including the Committee on Justice, we would ask and appeal that they request to establish a consular office in Kota Kinabalu should not be done, because even at the height of the Lahad Dato incident, the argument in the office of the president with respect to the request of Malaysia to open a consular office in Sabah was rejected because of the position then of President Ferdinand Marcos that he will not abandon any inch of the territory of the Philippine government. And also the people of the province of Sulu and Tawi-Tawi and all those in the archipelago might reject that proposal. And any proposal that would negate the current position of maintaining our claim to Sabah. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Deputy Speaker Lorena, would you like to make the proper motion?
I move that we repair, as already mentioned by the presiding chair, that we repair this committee to this manifestation of Marsema and all its contents to the various committees, committees of labor, Committee on Social Welfare and Development, Committee on Justice, which is the Bangsamoro Justice, Madam Speaker.
So there's a motion from Deputy Speaker Joe Lorena that the speech, the privileged speech and the manifestation in all general terms of MP Attorney Omar Yasarsema be referred to the committees on social services and development, Bangsamoro Justice, and labor. Do I hear a second? Floor leader, I can see Deputy Speaker, Deputy Floor Leader Attorney Rasul Mitmug Jr. raising his hand.
Yes, Madam Speaker. I'd like to request that the Honorable, or my colleague, Deputy Floor Leader, MP Rasul Mitmo be recognized.
DFL Mitmug is recognized.
Madam Chair, I recognize that it is extensively referred to all the committees, Madam Chair, mostly BTA or Parliament committees. However, in the end, if we want to coordinate, talk with our brothers and sisters in Senate and Congress, and since this is a sovereignty issue and an identity issue, then we must involve the IGR. So we must refer this issue to IRGR committee, Madam Chair, so that the IGR can talk with Senate and Congress regarding this matter, so that we will be facing this situation, not just as the Bangsamoro people, but as the Filipino people of the Philippines.
Would you like to make the proper
Then,
motion?
Madam Chair, I move that this also be referred to the IGR and hopefully they will take it up as soon as possible.
Okay, so there are two motions which have both been seconded. Are there any objections? There being none, both motions are approved.
Madam Chair, this very important matter just came at the tail end of our existence, considering that 3 or 4 months from now there will be elections. Be that as it may, we should praise and thank MP Attorney Omar Yasarsema for taking this up. Madam Speaker, we now come to the reference of business, which is part 8 of the order of business. We don't have bills on first reading, but we have at least 3 resolutions. And for this, I'd like to request or move that the Secretariat please read the title and its author, proposed resolution number 768.
The Secretary General is directed to read proposed resolution number 768, the title, author, and co-authors.
Proposed resolution number 768 entitled Resolution urging the Ministry of Health to strengthen information dissemination and implement appropriate and necessary measures to prevent the spread of hand, foot, and mouth disease in the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao. Author, Member of Parliament, Bahintan Napatuan. Co-authors, Members of Parliament, Don Mustafa Loong, Rasul Ismail, Rasul Mitmug Jr., Siti Pahani Uy Oyod, Khalid Haji Abdullah, Laisa Alamia, Suharto Ambuludto, Tawakal Mitimbang, Japar Apollo Mikhail Matalam, and Michael Mitimbang.
Madam Chair, I move that this be referred to the Committee on Health.
There's a motion from the floor leader to refer proposed resolution number 768 to the Committee on Health. Do I hear a second? Are there any objections? There being none, the motion is granted.
May we request that the Office of the Secretary General read proposed resolution number 799, its title and its authors.
The Secretary General is directed to read proposed resolution number 799, the title, authors, and co-authors.
Proposed resolution number 799 entitled Resolution urging the Bangsamoro government through the Ministry of Transportation and Communication to appeal the immediate return of operations of Cebu Pacific of its Cotabato Manila, Cotabato, and Cotabato Zamboanga, Cotabato flights Authors, Member of Parliament Khalil Sinulindig Jr. and Kitam Kadatuan Jr.
Floor
Madam
Leader.
Speaker, we request that this be referred to the Committee on Transportation and Communication.
There is a motion from the floor leader to refer proposed resolution number 799 to the Committee on Transportation and Communication.
But
I can see MP Kyle Abdullah raising his hand. You are recognized.
Yes, Madam Chair, if the proponent would like for a minor amendments for the title along with its body.
Floor leader, I think we need to move first for whether is this a simple resolution or are we going to refer this?
Madam Chair, I have moved that this be referred to the Committee on Transportation and Communication, and I believe that it was approved.
So, MP Kyle, there was, the motion is actually to refer this. So this is not a simple resolution. So it will be referred to the Committee on Transportation and Communication. We are about to approve it and go through the motions. We suggest that the changes in the title can be discussed at the committee level.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank
Madam
you.
Speaker.
MP Kyle. So there was a motion duly seconded. Are there any other objections? There being none, the motion is granted. Proposed resolution number 799 is referred to the Committee on Transportation and Communication.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Although, while this is referred to the committee, again, we bear in mind that and we hope that this matter will still be resolved, taken up, and returned to the plenary for its proper action, considering that, as I've said earlier, we are at the tail end of our existence, so to speak. Madam Speaker, I'd like to request the Secretary General to read the proposed resolution number 816, its title and its author.
The Secretary General is directed to do so.
Proposed resolution number 816 entitled A Resolution Expressing Full Support and Confidence in the Leadership of Chief Minister Abdurrauf A. Makakua and reaffirming the commitment of the Bangsamoro Parliament to unity, moral governance, rule of law, peace, continuity, and the realization of a mas matatag na Bangsamoro. Authors, Member of Parliament Romeo Sema, Odol Karim Miswari, Randolph Parcasio, Saripudin Jikiri, Nur Reda Miswari, Tomanda Antok, Nagib Sinarimbo, Kitam Kadatuan Jr., Parop Kandao, Susana Nayatin, Japara Paro Mikhail Matalam, Hanspar Usman, Sulfikar Ali Bayam, Alindato Pagayaw, Michael Mitimbang, Adol Basit Benito, Siti Pahani, Uy Oyod, Dan Asnawi, John Anthony Lim, Sohar Tombuludto, Proyle Mendoza, Hasime Dilanggalan, Muhammad Najir Ibil, Hatimil Hassan, Nabil Tan, Jose Lorena, and Baintan Ampatuan.
Madam Speaker, considering the nature of this resolution, I move that this be treated as a simple resolution.
There's a motion from the floor leader to treat proposed resolution number 816 as a simple resolution. Duly seconded. Are there any objections? Is that an objection? MP Tawakal Midtimbang is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. A'udzu billahi minasyaitonir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi wa bihi nasta'in. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. This is not objection, Madam Speaker, but rather manifestation that may I ask the authors of this resolution to please include. My motion is to include all the present member of parliament on this session to be included as a co-author of this resolution. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, MP Tawakal Mitimbang. So there is a pending motion. Yes, MP Attorney Omar Sema.
Same motion, Madam Speaker, but with another motion that this resolution be approved immediately without further debates. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
So there's a motion, there's an omnibus motion coming from MP Tawakal Mitimbang and MP Omar Sema. Before we rule on that, floor leader.
Before we rule on that, I move that we recognize the main author, should I say, of this resolution, simple resolution, in the person of the Honorable MP Romeo Sema.
The other Sema, MP Romeo Sema, is recognized.
Thank you, Presiding Speaker, MP Deputy Speaker, MP Raisa, MP Alamia, goes to the floor leader. So before to read my sponsor speech, the speaker, so I kindly accepted the manifestation to include all the present members present today as authors of this resolution, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, MP Romeo Sema. We will rule first on the motions, the two motions, before your sponsorship speech. So there is a motion, a pending motion from MP Tawakal Mitimbang for the inclusion, duly accepted, inclusion of all those who are present here today as authors of this resolution. And from MP Omar Sema, a motion to approve this with this speech. No more debate. Do I hear a second to the two motions? Are there any objections? There being none, the motion is approved. And now the main author, MP Romeo Sema, is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Honorable Chief Minister Abdurrauf Makakwa, Mr. Speaker, esteemed colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the authors and co-authors, I rise to sponsor this resolution expressing our overwhelming support for the efforts of our Chief Minister, Honorable Abdurrauf A. Makakwa, in carrying out the responsibilities entrusted to his office. During this important period in the Bangsamoro transition and for the upcoming first Bangsamoro parliamentary election, this resolution recognizes the significant responsibilities presently borne by the office of the Chief Minister in ensuring the continuity of governance, the implementations of the government programs, and the orderly discharge of the Bangsamoro government's mandate. As Chief Minister, Honorable Abdurrauf A. Makakwa has been entrusted with the task of steering the Bangsamoro government through a critical stage of its development. Such responsibility requires not only the leadership from the executive branch, but also the cooperations and support of ministries, institutions, stakeholders, and the parliament itself. This resolution, therefore, serves as an expression of institutional support for the efforts being undertaken by the Office of the Chief Minister in the fulfillment of its duties and responsibilities. It reflects our shared commitment to good governance, effective public service, and the continued strengthening of the institutions established under the Bangsamoro Organic Law. As member of the Parliament, we recognize that the success of the Bangsamoro government rests not upon any single individual, but upon the collective efforts of those entrusted with the public service and the institution they represent. In this spirit, In this spirit, we express our full support for the efforts and initiatives of Chief Minister Abdurrahman A. Makakua in advancing stability, good governance, accountability, and the welfare of the Bangsamoro people. For this reason, Mr. Speaker, I respectfully seek the adoption of this resolution. Wabillahi taufiq walidaya. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh.
Thank you very much, MP Romeo Sema, Floor Leader.
Yes, Madam Speaker, we now open the period of interpellation.
There's a motion to open the period of interpellation. Duly seconded. No objection. The motion is carried. I see Deputy Speaker Nagib Sinarimbo raising his hand. You are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, Madam Speaker. Thank you, distinguished sponsor. Just a few clarificatory questions, if the good Deputy Speaker Sema would allow.
That's accepted, Mr.
On the can we just reflect the proposed resolution, even just the title?
Secretariat, please. Okay. Thank you.
So the resolution proposes to express the full support and confidence in the leadership of the Chief Minister Abdurrauf A. Makakua, and reaffirming the commitment of the Bangsamoro Parliament to unity, moral governance, the rule of law, peace continuity, and the realization of a mas matatag na Bangsamoro. I do not have objections on what we intend to support, which is the leadership of the Chief Minister. But would the proponent clarify if we can be more specific in what programs or what specific drive of the Chief Minister which the Parliament wishes to support?
Yes, very clear, Mr. Speaker. Chief Minister is clearly stated that they're strongly program to combat the corruption, Mr. Speaker.
If that is so, distinguished sponsor, would the distinguished sponsor be willing to accommodate later on in the amendments some proposed amendments from our end, which would in effect express more concretely the pursuit that the Chief Minister is currently doing, and the fight against corruption as the principal pursuit that the Parliament would want to support. In which case, we should be more specific in saying we're supporting the Chief Minister's leadership, and in particular, the drive of the pursuit of the Chief Minister of moral governance, as well as his fight against graft and corruption in the BARM.
Yes, Mr. Speaker. Most welcome, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much,
Period
distinguished
of amendments,
sponsors. So, Madam Speaker, in the period of amendments, this representation would want to reflect that in the resolution. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, DS Nagib Sinarimbo, Floor Leader. Are there any other interpellators?
It seems that there are no other member of this parliament that is interested in interpolating. So I now move for that the period of interpellation be closed.
There is a motion to close the period of interpellation, duly seconded. There being no objection, the motion is approved.
I now move, Madam Speaker, that the period for amendment be open.
There is a motion to open the period of amendment. Duly seconded. No objection, the motion is approved. The period of amendment is hereby declared open.
I move that MP or Member of Parliament Omar Yasser Sema be recognized.
The Honorable MP Attorney Omar Yasser Sema is recognized.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. Uh, Calling from the interpellation of Deputy Floor Leader Nagib Sinarimbo a while ago, Madam Chair, it it I have this recollection that we passed a similar resolution with in the same context as that of what is in the mind of the Deputy Floor Leader. But nonetheless, Madam Speaker, the pleasure of the body would be respected. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, MP Attorney Omar Sema.
Madam Speaker, I now request that my colleague, Deputy Floor Leader, Nagib Sinarimbo, be
The
recognized.
Deputy Floor Leader, Attorney Nagib Sinarimbo, is recognized.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Speaker. Thank you, Floor Leader. As earlier expressed, we would want to propose an amendment, in particular in the title of the resolution, to reflect more accurately the sense of the Parliament by saying a resolution expressing full support and confidence in the leadership of Chief Minister Abdurauf A. Makakua and reaffirming the commitment of the Bangsamoro Parliament to moral governance and the fight against graft and corruption in the Bangsamoro.
DS Romeo Sema, what is the pleasure?
Accepted, Mr. Speaker.
Can this be, please reflect this, Secretary General? So now the title of the resolution reads as such: a resolution expressing full support and confidence in the leadership of Chief Minister Abdurauf A. Makakua and reaffirming the commitment of the Bangsamoro Parliament to moral governance and the fight against graft and corruption in the bar. Is this accepted?
Yes, accepted, Mr. Speaker.
So it has been accepted by the main author of
Thank
the
you.
resolution. Thank you.
Proponent, can we, in the whereas clauses, also reflect the changes as now expressed in the title so that it becomes more consistent?
May we hear from the main author if you agree or you accept this, removing the words accountability, institutional stability, peace, continuity, and inclusive development for the benefit of the Bangsamoro people.
Madam Speaker, I think the accountability and institutional stability, peace, continuity, and inclusive development for the benefits of the bank has been written, Madam Speaker.
Be retained. Okay, so it's now going to, so you accept the addition of the phrase. I think the end should be removed. Moral, or is it one idea? Moral governance and the fight against graft and corruption in the BARM, comma, accountability, institutional stability, peace, continuity, and inclusive development for the benefit of the Bangsamoro people. Is this acceptable to the main author?
Yes, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. DFL, Nagib Sinarimbo?
We yield to the proposition, counter proposition coming from the proponent, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. SecGen, is there any other part of the resolution that needs an additional phrase? and the fight against graft and corruption.
Gamitin mo with office.
I think in the resolve further, the last,
The result further. Yeah.
that second paragraph.
Yeah. Resolve further. So we will just insert that in the resolve further.
Subject to style.
Yes. So we will insert the pursuit of moral governance and the fight against graft and corruption in this particular paragraph, just to reflect it more consistently. Subject to style.
And Secgen, the last paragraph also. Now, the penultimate paragraph, now therefore be it resolved.
Yeah.
Are these all accepted by the main author? DS Romeo Sema.
Yes, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, DS Romeo Sema and DFL Nagib Sinarimbo. Considering this, the floor leader, would you like to make the proper motion?
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very
Madam
much.
Speaker.
I think there are no other member of the parliament that would like to introduce an amendment to this resolution. Therefore, I move that the period for amendment be closed.
The period for amendment is being moved to be closed. Do I hear a second? There being no objections, the motion is approved.
Madam Chair, I move for the approval of proposed resolution number 816, entitled "A Resolution Expressing Full Support and Confidence in the Leadership of Chief Minister Abdul Rauf Makakwa and reaffirming the commitment of the Bangsamoro Parliament to unity."
That's not the. Can we show the amended title? Can we show the amended title, please?
Yeah.
Please proceed.
May I reform my motion for approval? Madam Chair, I move that the resolution expressing full support and confidence in the leadership of Chief Minister Abdul Rauf Makakwa and reaffirming the commitment of the Bangsamoro Parliament to moral governance in the fight against graft and corruption in the BARM, which is resolution number 816, be approved.
There is a motion for the approval of proposed resolution number 816 as amended. Do I hear a second? Are there any objections? There being none, proposed resolution number 816 as amended and subject to style is hereby approved.
Madam Chair, we now come to the bills on second reading. I'd like to request the Secretary General to read BTA Parliament Bill number 343, specifically its title and its author.
The SecGen is hereby directed to read BTA Parliament Bill number 343, the title, author, and co-authors.
BTA Parliament Bill number 343, entitled "An Act Promoting Infrastructure and Connectivity Development in the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao to support economic growth, employment, and sustainable development, appropriating funds therefore and for other purposes." Author, Member of Parliament Baintan Abatuan. Co-authors, Members of Parliament Don Mustafa Loong, Rasul Ismail, Rasul Mitmug Jr., Liza Lamia, Amil Bahar Mawalil, Suharto Bulunto, Tawakal Mitimbang, Japar Apollo Mikael Matalam, Michael Mitimbang, Siti Pahani, Uy Oyod, Khalid Haji Abdullah, Basir Uttu, Harun Abbas, Mosber Alaudin, Muhammad Kelly Antaw, Said Salendab, Aida Silungan, Ahmad Abbas, Suway Buranon, Said Sheikh, Hatimil Hassan, Susana Nayatin, Romeo Sema, Eddie Ali, and Abdulaziz Aminuddin.
Madam Chair, I move to request that the author, the Honorable MP Baintan Apatuan, be recognized.
the main author of BTA Parliament Bill number 343, Deputy Speaker MP Engineer Baintan Ampatuan is recognized.
Thank you to our beloved Chief Minister Abdul Rauf Makakua, our Speaker of the Parliament Muhammad S. Yaqub, to the presiding Speaker, Deputy Speaker Attorney Liza Lamia, to the Deputy Speakers, Floor Leader, Deputy Floor Leaders, members of the Parliament, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. In the interest of time, I'm tempted to say that the explanatory note of the bill should serve as my sponsorship speech. But nonetheless, Madam Speaker, allow me to just read some of the important points of this bill, specifically on the objectives and the body that would constitute the implementation once this becomes a law. The bill specifically aims to promote infrastructure and connectivity development in the Bangsamoro region. Madam Speaker, it aims to develop and improve transportation networks, including roads, bridges, ports, and airports, to facilitate the movement of goods, services, and people within the BARM and to the other region, within BARM and to the other regions. Second is to enhance digital connectivity by establishing reliable and affordable internet access across BARMM. Third is to expand and upgrade energy infrastructure to provide a stable and sustainable electricity supply. Fourth is to strengthen water supply, sanitation, and waste management infrastructure, particularly in the underserved communities. Fifth is to promote climate resilient infrastructure development to ensure long-term sustainability and disaster risk reduction. And six is to encourage public-private partnership to support infrastructure projects and attract investment in BARM. And how do we do this? There shall be a body that shall be created, which we call the Bangsamoro Infrastructure and Connectivity Development Authority, or BICDA, which is an independent body created responsible for planning, coordinating, implementing, and monitoring infrastructure. This, what we are saying here, are big infrastructure projects for the Bangsamoro. And there shall be an established Bangsamoro infrastructure fund, specifically looking at, of course, the annual appropriations of the BARM, grants, donations, and contribution from international and local partners. Of course, those coming from the national government also. Proceeds from the PPP arrangements and other local sources of funds. And we intend to use the mechanism of public-private partnership for the with the BICDA to promote this mechanism in the financing, developing, and maintaining infrastructure projects in BARM. So in this, Madam Speaker, this is the main intention of this bill, and we're trying to look at the overall development of the Bangsamoro region, the big ticket projects, because right now we are looking at the more trees from each of the agencies of the Bangsamoro government, but nobody is looking at the whole Pares. So, Madam Chair, Madam Speaker, this is the intention of this bill. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh.
Thank you very much, Deputy Speaker Bayintan Ampatuan. Floor Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move that this be referred to the Committee on Public Works, Committee on Finance, Budget, and Management.
There's a motion from the floor leader to refer BTA Parliament Bill number 343 to Committee on Public Works, Committee on Finance, Budget, and Management. There is a second. Are there any objections? There being none, the motion is approved.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. May I request the Secretary General to read the BTA Parliament Bill number 357, its title and its author.
The Secretary General is directed to do so.
BTA Parliament Bill number 357 entitled An Act Regulating the Operations of Motorcycles for Hire in the Bangsamoro region and providing mandatory statutory benefits to its riders. Author, Member of Parliament Romeo Sema. Co-authors, Member of Parliament Randolph Palcasio, Saripuddin Jikiri, Abdul Karim Miswari, Nur Reda Miswari, Ahmad Abbas, Amanda Andok, Mosbera Lauden, Susana Nayatin, Don Mustafa Loong, Hussein Munoz, Faisal Karon, and Amiruddin Gayak.
Madam Speaker, may I request that Deputy Speaker MP Romeo Sema be recognized.
The Honorable Deputy Speaker Romeo Sema is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Madam Speaker, esteemed colleagues in the Bangsamoro Parliament, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Madam Speaker, I respectfully present for the considerations of this Honorable Parliament the Parliament Bill number 357, otherwise known as the Bangsamoro Motorcycles for Hires Act. This measure recognizes the growing role of motorcycles for hire, or commonly known as payong-payong, in the daily lives of our people across the Bangsamoro region. For many communities, particularly those areas with limited transportation options, payong-payong or motorcycles for hire provide an accessible, reasonable, affordable, and practical means of transport. At the same time, they serve as a source of livelihood for hundreds, if not thousands of riders and their families at home. Despite their increasing presence in our transportation system, the operations of motorcycles for hire remains largely unregulated, while many riders continue to lack adequate protections and access to social welfare benefits. This situation highlights the need for a clear legal framework that promotes both public safety and the welfare of riders. The Bangsamoro Motorcycles for Hires Act seek to address these concerns by establishing standards by registrations, operations, and regulations, while assuring that riders are afforded appropriate statutory benefits and protections under the law. In doing so, the bill advances not only transportation efficiency, but also social justice and economic opportunity. At its core, this measure is about recognizing the contributions of motorcycle for hire riders to our communities and ensuring that both passengers and riders are protected through a fair and responsible regulatory system. For this reason, Madam Speaker, I respectfully seek the support of this Honorable Parliament for the passage of Parliament Bill number 357, the Bangsamoro Motorcycles for Hires Act. Wabillahi taufiq walidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker MP Romeo Sema. Floor Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move that this BTA Parliament Bill number 357 be referred to COTC, Committee on Transportation and Communication.
There's a motion from the floor leader to refer BTA Parliament Bill number 357 to the Committee on Transportation and Communication. Duly seconded. Are there any objections? There being none, the motion is approved.
Thank you. May I ask, Madam Speaker, that the Secretary General read BTA Parliament Bill number 456, its author, its title, and its authors.
The Secretary General is directed to do so.
BTA Parliament Bill number 456 entitled An Act Institutionalizing a Ligawasan Inland Fisheries Enterprise Framework aimed at providing support for organizational and human resource development, microfinancing, and multipurpose facilities ranging from breeding to marketing, as well as oversight and strict enforcement of fisheries regulations to promote a strong and sustainable fishing enterprise while protecting the environment and the Ligawasan Marsh within the territorial jurisdiction of the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao, thereby contributing to regional food security, economic stability, and social justice and peace, allocating funds therefore and for other purposes. Author Muhammad Kayli Antaong. Co-authors members of Parliament, Suhaib Oranon, Mujib Abu Tawakal Mitimbang, Maruf Kandao, Tumanda Antok, Japar Apollo Mikhail Matalam, Said Salenda, Mosber Alauden, Ramon Piang Sr., Uto Salim Kutan, Benjamin Loong Ahmad Abbas, Said Sheikh, Romeo Sema, Kadel Sinulinding Jr., Susana Nayatin, Muhammad Yakub, Abdul Karim Miswari, Boots Malang, Amiruddin Gayak, and Randolph Parcasio.
Madam Chair, may I request that the Honorable MP Muhammad Kayli Antao be recognized.
The Honorable MP Muhammad Kelly Antao is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Presiding Speaker. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala asrafil anbiya wal mursalin. Wabad. My courtesy and respect to our esteemed Chief Minister, Abdul Rauf A. Magakua, to our respected Parliament Speaker, Dr. Muhammad Yaqub, to our presiding Speaker, Deputy Speakers, Floor Leader, Deputy Floor Leaders, sa aking mga kagalang-galang na kasamahan sa Parliament, sa ating mga panauhin na saksi sa okasyong ito, and to all others not mentioned, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. I stand before you today, hindi lamang bilang isang membro ng Bangsamoro Parliament, kundi bilang boses ng mga nasa laylayan, lalong-lalo na sa mga areas sa paligid ng Ligawasan Marsh, na sakupan ng Bangsamoro Autonomous Region ni Muslim Mindanao. Kasama ang aking mga kapwa co-sponsors, I am here to support Bangsamoro Parliament Bill number 456, isang inisyatiba na naglalayong itatag ang Ligawasan Inland Fisheries Enterprise Framework na giliw nating tinatawag na LIFE Act of 2026. This proposed bill, Mr. Speaker, is not merely a blueprint for commerce o the economy. Ito ay isang malalim na pagpahayag ng hustisya. It is a promise of peace. Isa itong kasiguruhan na wala ng bata sa mga komunidad sa paligid ng Ligawasan Marsh ang matutulog ng may tiyan na kumakalam sa gutom. Mr. Speaker, bawat linya ng batas na ito ay sinusulat ng may malalim na paggalang sa ating kasaysayan. May mabigat na puso para sa pagbabago nating kalikasan, para sa nagbabago nating kalikasan. And a burning desire to uplift our fisher folks who call the Marsh their home. Ang Ligawasan Marsh na kilala bilang Pawas sa wikang Maguindanaon is considered the very soul of Central Mindanao, Taglay nito ang isang considered. Taglay nito ang makasaysayang kahalagaan ng marapat lamang nabigyang pansin ng pamahalaan Bangsamoro kasama ang ating mga kapatid na nanirahan dito. For generation, Mr. Speaker, ang ligawasan mas ang nagpakain sa mga naninirahan doon mula pa sa kanilang mga ninuno. In our darkest hours of conflict, ang pook na ito ang nagkanlong at nagligtas ng ating mga pamilya. Ang pawas is a living map of the Bangsamoro resilience. Kaya naman tungkulin natin, it is our legal and moral obligation na protektahan ang cultural at pang-ekonomiyang sitwasyon. Ito para sa mga pamilyang Bangsamoro whose lives are completely intertwined with its waters. Subalit, gaano man kasakit aminin, Mr. Speaker, we are facing a bitter paradox pagmasdan natin ang ligawasan ngayon. Kahit na pinagbantaan ng climate change ang mga pampang nito, ito ay nanatiling napakayaman sa likas na yaman. It provides so much, ngunit ang mga nagtitiyagang nag-aani ng mga biyayang ito ang siyang nakakatanggap ng pinakakaunti. Our fisher folks na bumubuo sa napakalaking bahagi ng populasyon, tinatayang humigit kumulang ng 200,000 individuals sa loob ng baon, continue the livelihood of fishing inherited from our ancestors, yet they remain undeniably the poorest of the poor. Gising na sila bago pa magbukang liwayway, ngunit hindi pa rin sila makatakas sa mapang-aping siklo ng kahirapan. They lack the capital to grow. Kaya naman naiiwan na silang umasa sa awa ng mga mapagsamantalang loan sharks. Wala silang protection, walang maayos na merkado, walang mga pasilidad tulad ng cold storage at processing plants, at kulang sa pagsasanay sa makabagong pamaraan. Nalulunod sila sa utang habang ang ilang mapang-aping middlemen ay lumulutang sa kasaganaan. They are crying out and pleading with our government for help. Therefore, we must answer their call. The life framework, Mr. Speaker, is our definitive answer. This framework is a holistic and compassionate approach na naglalayong baguhin ang tradisyonal na pangingisda mula sa pagiging isang simpleng pakikipaglaban para mabuhay tungo sa isang matatag na papanatili at maunlad ang pangkabuhayan. Bilang pagpatutuloy, Mr. Speaker, allow me to share the four foundation of this sacred responsibility. First, organizational and human resource development. Sa ilalim ng konseptong ito, hindi tayo basta nagpapautang at pagkatapos ay aalis na lamang. We are investing in our constituent within the BAM-covered Ligawasan Enclave. Titiyakin natin nakatutok ang framework na ito sa capacity building, technical training, at organizational resilience para sa mga lokal na kooperatiba. In short, we will empower our fisherfolk to form robust cooperatives upang mayakap nila ang kanilang dangal bilang mga tagapangasiwa ng sarili nilang tadhana. Second, microfinancing assistance. Ang kawalan ng puhunan, Mr. Speaker, ang siyang kulungan na nagbibihag sa ating mga maliliit na mangingisda. This framework will create compassionate and accessible microfinancing programs na sadyang idinisenyo para sa buhay sa pawas. Wala mga imposibleng hadlang inshallah at walang mapagsamantalang interes. Magbibigay tayo ng patas, abot kaya at madaling bayarang startup capital para sa wakas ay makapag-ari na sila ng mas maayos na bangka at angkop na kagamitan. Third, multipurpose facilities from hatchery to market, Mr. Speaker. Upang tunay na mapagaling ang sektor na ito, Mr. Speaker, kailangan natin protektahan ang pagod at pawis ng ating mga mangingisda mula sa sandaling ihagis nila ang kanilang mga lambat hanggang sa maibenta ang kanilang huli. The legislation will ban fish hatcheries, cold storage, unit post-harvest facilities, and direct market linkages. Fourth, Mr. Speaker, strict environmental monitoring and enforcement. Our journey toward economic prosperity must never demand the sacrifice of our environment. Ang ligawasan mas ay isang marupok, ngunit masiglang ekosistema na pinagtiwala sa ating kalinga. This proposed bill establishes strict regulations and meticulous mechanism to protect it. Sama-sama nating titiyakin ang pagpapatupad ng sustainable fishing practices, wawakasan ang destructive overfishing, at itataguyod ang kaligtasan ng rich biodiversity and march para sa mga darating na panahon. Given this explanation, Mr. Speaker, it is profoundly evident that this proposed legislation carries a deep and vital purpose. Ang ligawasan inland fisheries enterprise framework ay hindi lamang tungkol sa pagpalaki ng huli ng isda. It stands as a strategic and carefully crafted fortification for food security with our region, one that will significantly contribute to our entire nation. Naglalatag ito ng konkretong pundasyon para sa katatagan, pang-ekonomiya ng ating mga komunidad na nakapalibot sa pawas. Most importantly, Mr. Speaker, ang panukalang batas na ito ay nagsisilbing isang makapangyarihan kasangkapan para sa katarungan, panglipunan at tunay na kapayapaan sa pamamagitan ng pagbibigay ng ating mamamayan ng marangal at sapat na kabuhayan. Direktang binubunot natin ang masakit na ugat ng kahirapan. Sa darating na mga araw, may sasalin natin ang mga sagradong mithiin ng moral governance upang maging isang konkretong realidad na magbabago sa buhay ng mamamayan Bangsamoro, ultimately achieving a more resilient community, economy, and environmental governance in the Ligawasan March, inshallah. Sa makatuwid, kaming mga may akda at tagataguyod ng pinukalang batas na ito ay naghain na isang taimtim na panawagan. Let us pass this legislation. Pasiglayin natin ang ating mga marginalized na mangingisda, kalingain ang ating matatanging likas na pamana at bumuo ng isang ligtas at maunlad na bukas para sa ating bayan. To this end, we earnestly and wholeheartedly plead for the solidarity and support of our esteemed colleague for the immediate passage of this bill. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh.
Thank you very much, MP Muhammad Kelly Antao. Floor Leader.
Madam Speaker, may I move that BTA Parliament Bill number 456 be referred to the Committee on Agriculture, Fisheries, and Agrarian Reform.
There's a motion from the floor leader to refer BTA Parliament Bill number 456 to the Committee on Agriculture, Fisheries, and Agrarian Reform. Do I hear a second? Are there any objections? There being none, the motion is approved.
Madam Speaker, may I move for suspension? Suspend.
Session suspended. Floor Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move that my colleague, Deputy Floor Leader, the Honorable MP Attorney Isaac Mastura be recognized.
The Deputy Speaker, Attorney Ishak Mastura, is recognized.
Assalamualaikum, Madam Speaker. The next item on the agenda is on the committee report number 175 for the Revenue Code. We have been dealing with this topic for a number of weeks already, but we don't have a physical copy because it's voluminous. So I would like to request that the Secretariat print a copy for everybody because as you know, our session is probably towards its last legs, at least before the elections. And if we are intending to pass this or do some other revisions, amendments, then we need the physical copy because it's very hard to go through a voluminous copies. And in this particular case, although we have been furnished through the internet,